Okay, so first of all, you gotta spend about 6 million hours downloading everything from the 4 installation discs. It's doubly insulting once you realize how much space it takes up versus how long you're actually going to be playing the game for. After everything downloads, we're treated to more fucking awesome cutscenes that make us think that the game might actually be good one last time before we start it. Now we're at the character creation screen. Normally I try to make my character look like me or Samus, but right now I really don't care. I'll choose Jedi with the Republic. Seems appropriate. After all, the canon was that Revan united the Jedi and went to face a great threat in the unknown regions, but that's a whole different story altogether. Couple of errors here in the character creation screen. 1, the Mira Luca are dead. Visus was the last one. 2, the Sith are dead. They turned inward and killed each other. 3, the Cathar are dead. Juhani was the last one. Therefore, why are they available to play?
Oh, and if you were upset about J.J. Abrams and Kasdan flushing the canon, you should be used to this game totally disregarding everything you ever knew about Star Wars.
Now that we've gone through all the Star Wars formalities, it's time to start the game. You begin on the planet of Tython, where there are just oodles and oodles of Jedi running around. Why are there oodles of Jedi running around? Wasn't it the Exile, Mitra Sirik, and the Ebon Hawk crew that comprised the last of the Jedi in KOTOR 2? Yes, but what they didn't tell us was that this game is set hundreds of years after KOTOR 2.
That's right, we got fucked. No closure, no anything. Though, to be fair, Revan does show up later in the game. The only problem is that it's later in the game and you'll never get there because this game gets dull real fast.
I'm getting ahead of myself here. Our first mission is to slaughter a bunch of flesh raiders, which really just look like Ithorians that got stung by too many bees. Riddle me this: why are the Jedi, a peaceful group of people whom only believe in fighting as a last resort, so eager to go murder a bunch of indigenous creatures? I mean, sure, they're aggressive in attacking the settlers, but the Jedi Masters just straight up give you the task of killing these creatures. Oh, and get used to killing them too, because you're gonna be doing it a lot. And that's a perfect segue into my next point about the combat.
Basically, the way the combat works is that you push buttons until the enemy dies. Real innovative there, BioWare.
You have a number of moves to do, but in the end, it always comes down to the same combination of attacks. There's something called focus points. I don't know. You have to build up focus points in order to use certain moves. I guess it's so you don't just use dominant strategy the whole time. Like focus points would help. None of the enemies are challenging in their movesets, but some of them just have way too much health. Most of the time, it's just a race to see who can kill who first. There's no strategy to the combat.
Okay, so the canon is convoluted and messed up, the voice acting is horrendous, the environments are generic, and the combat is dull and tedious. I've realized all this, and I'm only on level 1.
After killing only half a dozen flesh raiders, it gets old real fast, especially given that it takes forever to level up. Not only that, but the enemies respawn!
Well, of course they respawn, right? It's an MMO. But that's exactly the point. This game shouldn't have been an MMO. BioWare RPGs are immersive and emotional. They're single-player experiences. Even though you're aware that you may have other friends who are playing the game and going through those same experiences, you don't see them do it. Here, you see everyone else doing the exact same missions, collecting the exact same items, and killing the exact same enemies as you are.
Making this game an MMO takes the player's unique, individual experience out of it because you know that you're not alone. You can see everyone fucking talking anytime someone kills something. That's why I hit everything I possibly could that would give me hints of other players. But I can still see them!
That just makes me think. Who's even playing this game? I mean, in 2011 it made sense, but once it became free to play after only a year, that's usually a sign that the game fucking sucks and isn't making any money. So what's the appeal? Everybody already knows it's god-awful. What the hell's wrong with you people?
Look, just look. There's a goddamn queue forming for the storyline. Oh, gee, this sure is a unique experience I'm having.
Well, maybe we can hope that the storyline and characters will make up for it, right?
Bingle Moore came to me. He said he'd end the Flesh Raider attacks if we gave him your mask.
I've never fought anyone I couldn't beat.
Bingle Moore took orders to someplace called the Forge.
Let me break down the storyline.
Planet Prison supercharges a world.
Anyways, most of the missions you'll go on will be to go kill X amount of enemies or collect X amount of things or find a thing that's through the enemies that respawn.
Basically, they're really fucking boring and redundant, but you better get used to it because guess what? That's the game!
So you're on Tython until level 9 million or something. There's some dark Jedi who's giving the Flesh Raiders weapons, some Twi'lek refugees, I don't fucking know.
You see, now normally I would play this game nice because I find the experience to be more rewarding and challenging by doing the right things, so to speak. I'm fucking pissed off! And the only way to deal with these emotions is by projecting them onto the characters in the game.
Get out of my sight.
After level 9 million, you finally get a lightsaber, but guess what? That's it. You guessed right. Nothing changes. For starters, the fucking stick they give you at the beginning of the game makes a lightsaber sound. But even when you get the damn lightsaber, nothing changes. The game doesn't magically get better. The combat stays the same, and the damn lightsaber doesn't even do much more damage than the fucking stick. Remember in KOTOR, the good ones, where you work and work to get to the point where you can build your own lightsaber, and once you do, it's fucking badass? A lightsaber is the symbol of the Jedi. It can be used to stop a fight even before it starts. Which is a good fucking thing, because I've been trying to avoid this shitty combat system since 5 minutes after I started playing!
Oh god. Oh god, it's happening. I can feel it. Damn, I've never been more anxious for the virus to get downloaded than now. Eve, you gotta save me. Shut the system down.
So much walking, just walking back and forth. Go here, kill these things, collect these things. Nothing ever changes, and why should it? It's not like an Elder Scrolls game where the environment is so immersive that you want to explore more of the world around you. No! Everything looks the same. There's no originality. It's a forest planet, sort of. Generic ruins, generic enemies, whatever. Speaking of Elder Scrolls, given how much you're going to be fucking walking in the game, wouldn't it have been a good idea to have you level up your athletics the more you walk so it feels rewarding?
Oh, no. Now that would actually be a good idea. You want to know how the leveling up works in this game? Well, I don't want to talk about it.
Basically, when you level up, nothing happens. There's no noticeable change in your stats, and you don't get to pick what kind of powers you get at first. Instead, you walk to the Jedi Temple and talk to the trainer and buy your powers. Oh, I'm sorry. He trains you for a price. Oh, of course, yeah, that's ancient Jedi code right there. Remember the scene in the first Star Wars where Luke's like, I want to learn the ways of the Force and become a Jedi like my father, and then Obi-Wan's like, yeah, sure, Luke, sounds good, but first give me $5. Nobody writes for free. Eventually, you fight some fucking Drexel or something and get to leave the planet for Coruscant, but not until after you meet up with the fleet.
This is where the game gets extra confusing because there's so much information going on, so many tutorials, everything, that you're really not sure what to do. There are trainers, things like crafting, alchemy, botany, I don't know.
It's really confusing as to what each of these trainers actually trains you to do, and since there's so much other crap everywhere, you really don't know what the hell's going on. Talk about information overload. I'd be curious if any of this actually comes into play later in the game. I wonder if anyone has ever played that long to figure it out. Anyways, you can also enter a flashpoint. What's a flashpoint? How the hell should I know? The game doesn't bother to explain the plot. Why should it explain the gameplay? This is where the game really wants you to team up with another player online.
I'm not doing that. I play RPGs because I want to be engrossed by their entrancing storyline, not because I want to be social, as much as I've talked about how I was lonely at the beginning of this episode and needed a friend, but that's different.
I thought you might know something about our ship's situation. I heard a rumor that there's an Imperial warship following us. I know, the treaty...
What does this have to do with me?
I just thought...
Damn, it sucks so bad, I can't take it! Well, maybe it'll pick up in this flashpoint. Whatever the hell that is.
It doesn't. All that changes is the enemies are tougher. Not that the enemies do more damage, per se, just that they have more health, so they take longer to kill, so you can't actually kill them before they kill you, because it'll take you fucking forever! Oh yeah, and I forgot to say, when you die, there's a penalty. Every time you die, you have to wait longer and longer to respawn. Why? Again, going back to my earlier statement. How the hell should I know?
I understand failure. I really do. I failed at everything I've ever done. But with games, it should be different. You shouldn't be penalized for dying. It should just let you die and start over again. It's like, oh, I have an idea, guys. How about instead of letting them get right back into the action, instead we make them wait a half hour because they fucking suck and should learn from their mistakes? Where's the logic in that?
Your ship is transporting a known anti-imperial terrorist and seditionist, the so-called Ambassador Vin Asara. I've come to collect her.
Oh God, I gotta step up.
I can't take it anymore. It's the worst game I've ever played. But I have to keep going. I need Eve back. The station needs her back. I need her back. I mean, next up is Coruscant. Coruscant can't be that bad, right?
Our immediate problem is that these slave collar chips are spread around the Migrant Merchants Guild headquarters.
Get enough terminals, we might just pull this off.
But try to recover anything else that was stolen from us.
Recovering the shipment of chips from the guild
It's all the same. Just more collectathons, more go kill something quests. I don't even know what the hell the plot is for this game. Who's Dr. Tarnus or whoever? Who's anyone? I remember reading that Revan comes back later in the game, but who could ever even get that far? This game is so bad that I can't even get past the second planet.
Hey, you guys, I'm feeling kind of tired. I think I'm just gonna lie down for a bit.
I don't know if any of you are still watching, or if any were watching to begin with. But for those of you who are, tell Cassie Tressel that I always loved her. And tell Sarah Scoville that I should have taken her to the prom. Lord Larson, too.
Oh. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's actually happened. Where am I? Am I dead? Is this hell? Where's Satan?
You're not in hell, Chip.
Well, no, I'm not in heaven, because, you know, Sherry Becker in 8th grade. Is this limbo?
Kind of. Come on, sit down.
Oh, man, Eve, it was terrible. I was playing the game, and the game was bad, and the combat system was, you just push the same button until they die, and there was nothing about Revan, or nothing about the Exile, and nothing like that.
Hey, it's okay.
Oh,
We're safe now. Relax.
Oh my God, Eve, I don't know if I can go back. Eve, you're alive!
Only just recently.
What happened?
Exactly what you thought would happen. You installed the Old Republic on the system's mainframe and played it long enough for me to reawaken. You sacrificed your own life so that I could live.
I did?
Yeah, and now that I've got you here, there's something to show you.
What the hell is this?
Oh, well, you see...
Is it like a sandwich? Do you eat it?
No, Chip.
It's square. Is it like a brick? Can you build with it like a Lego?
No, they made a...
Can you fuck it?
Chip.
I do this.
For God's sake, it's a book!
A book? That's lame.
Extremely. This book answers all the questions that should have been answered in Knights of the Old Republic 3.
Hold the phone. You're telling me, instead of releasing a totally awesome next-gen HD sequel to Knights of the Old Republic 2 that answers all the questions we have, they gave us a shitty fucking book to read? We have to read?
Yeah.
What sort of sick, perverted, diabolical mind would come up with such a sadistic and treacherous idea as to put out a fucking book that we have to read instead of a totally awesome video game and then replacing that video game with a shitty MMORPG?
EA.
I'm fucking pissed off! Where's my closure?
In the book.
Where's Revan?
In the book.
Where's the Exile?
In the book.
What about Atten?
He's not in.
God damn it! I'm fucking pissed off, and I'm not gonna take it anymore. Damn it! Oh God, I'm alive. God damn it! It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault! All I wanted was for the only woman that never broke my heart to come back to life, and she wasn't even a real woman, she was a computer! Bastards! Bastards! How could you amp us up just to let us down again, man? How could you release a good game like Mass Effect that makes me cry every goddamn time I play it, and then open up your gaping asshole and shit out this barely rendered, barely developed, barely written piece of bullshit? Damn it!
Tony, I knew you would do it. I knew the isolation would tear you apart. It was all part of my plan to kill you for good.
Beth, you're dead. You were killed on Luna.
Only in flesh, my dear brother. And now, I will finally have you dead and the EVE all to myself. I think not.
Eve!
What? What's happening? It is my primary function to keep Chip Roberts alive, and since he has freed me, I am bound to him.
You're a machine! You're bound to no one! I command you!
Eve! Initialize pod farm!
Initializing pod farm. You can't kill me, Tony. I own you. I made you. Without me, you'd be nothing.
Been waiting for this for 10 years. It's just time to do things the old-fashioned way.
You always were old-fashioned, Tony, all the way down to the fashion. But while you were reliving the 80s, I learned a few new tricks.
Then let's finish this, and remind the galaxy of Malachor 5!